This podcast is brought to you in part by P&P Games, your online source for everything video games. Visit their website at pnpgames.com or at one of their 3 retail locations in Winnipeg, Manitoba. On this episode of the Nintendo Pulse podcast, episode number 80, we're going to be talking Mario Kart 8, an emulator that's been shut down by Nintendo, and the Nintendo network becoming a zombie and coming back from the dead. All this and more on episode 80 of the Nintendo Pulse. Gonna dance on camera for a little bit.
I'm getting nothing in the video now. Oh, Safari's even worse.
Oh, that's no bad. No good. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Nintendo Pulse podcast. I can't talk tonight, apparently. This is episode number 80. As always, I'm your host, Lloyd Hannison, and joining me as always, and frustrated by Twitch video not working, Stephen Munn. Stephen, how the heck are you today, man?
I am doing great, aside from the fact that, I don't know if you've heard this, but I'm a little frustrated by the Twitch video not working.
I don't know, but how's your Twitch video working today?
It is working great.
Good. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. So it's been a week since we last talked. Stephen, what is new with you? How have you been, and what you been doing?
I've been doing great. Continuing to do lots of cooking. Got my playing tennis on Friday nights now. And
wow, you're a man about town.
I am. I've been just keeping really busy watching nature documentaries and movies. I watched a few really good movies in the past week. Nice. And some not so good ones.
Anything of note that you want to mention here on the show? Now that I'm putting you on the spot.
Mr. Nobody. Mr. Nobody was a really, really good movie that came out last year. Nice science fiction, kind of very dramatic, very interesting movie. Definitely recommend it. And I saw a Korean film called Spring, Summer, Fall, Winter, and Spring.
Okay.
Which was gorgeous to look at, but awful. It was terrible. I mean, I think I understand what they were going for with it, but it was just, there was so much just graphic animal abuse in the movie that just never would fly in a Hollywood film. It just was distracting, to the point of being distracting. It was just downright cruel. It was terrible watching them kill and abuse animals in this movie.
Wow.
But yeah. So I don't recommend that one.
No.
But Mr. Nobody was great. I thought that was a really, really good movie. I also watched Night Catches Us, which is a movie about the Black Panthers.
Nice.
And I thought that was all right, but I made the mistake of watching it right after Mr. Nobody, and it's a very different film, obviously. So I was like, wow, crazy science fiction film, and it's like, wow, here's this really heavy period piece. Yeah.
You
should have picked a different night.
Yeah, you need to plan that out a little bit better, I think.
Yeah, it would be a better one.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome. Well, I've been busy as well, but not for any of the fun reasons like you. I'm not playing tennis. I haven't started my own hedge grooming club like you have. And
hedge grooming?
Yeah, you do with the big scissors.
Okay.
You form them into different shapes.
The pruning shears.
Yeah. That's right.
Actually, I have a giant electric shaver for hedges.
It's to go along with your bonsai club that you also run. So you have the small and the large. So
you've got me all figured out. I'm doing all these things that I'm not actually doing. Pretty cool.
But I've been up to my ears in soccer. Both my kids are playing soccer, and it is every single day. I like Wednesday, so yesterday, today's Thursday. I've lost all track of time, essentially. I can't talk, as you can tell by my doing the show. I got home from work yesterday. I didn't have to leave for soccer for an hour, so I decided to lay down, and I passed out for the entire hour. Like, I'm wiped. Like, I'm not the one playing the soccer, so I shouldn't be so tired. But I'm not getting home till like really late, 9 o'clock, 9:30 sometimes. Then have to give the kids a snack and get them ready and go into bed. And then by the time that's done, it's like all right, it's time for bed. And so my whole day is work, home, soccer, home, sleep. And that's how it's been for the last couple of weeks. And I'm really kind of burnt out on the whole thing right now, and the season just started, so we'll see where this whole thing goes. As a unfortunate side effect of that, we had to push back the recording of these shows on Thursday. So I normally like to start them at 8:30 Central, but I'm not even home till after 9 o'clock. So it looks like we're going to have to push them back till 9:15, 9:30, depending on when the games are and all that. So to anybody that showed up a little bit early, my apologies for not being live, but we'll try to be on the air sometime that evening. Easiest way to figure out when we do a show is to head on over to our Twitch page, which is twitch.tv/VGPod. And if you subscribe with your Twitch account, you'll get an email or an email notification at least. But if you have the iOS or Android app, you'll actually get a push notification on your device, which will tell you when we went live. And that's probably the best way to figure out when we're streaming, whether it's podcasts on Thursday and Friday, whether it's Disney Infinity being recorded on Monday, or whether it's us doing all sorts of streaming on other days. You'll get notifications, and you'll get notifications, and we'll be able to do that. Jay Carguth in the chat room says, I'm imagining lots of subliminal, it's okay to quit soccer messages for your kids. I haven't quite gotten to there yet, but
give it time.
It might be coming. I'm actually thinking of jumping in as an assistant coach on one of the teams because it's frustrating to sit there and not be able to correct the way that everybody's playing. So I would be a very bad assistant coach. So that hopefully that doesn't happen because I can see a lot of kids not liking me. But
we just want to have fun. No, that's not what it's about.
You will play properly and score and win
and like it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, that's all sorts of fun. So that's been my time over this last little while. So yeah. Anything else that you want to cover before we get into the show, Stephen?
No, I think everything else we can do as part of the show.
Okay.
So let's just get into the meat of the show, as you like to say.
Let's do that. I was just trying to send a tweet that we went live, so I was trying to stall for time, but
we're going to get into the tweet of the show.
It's there you go.
Into the tweet of the show.
So
the part where we tweet, and I say things that distract everybody from the fact that Lloyd is busy working.
Exactly.
So how about those Mets?
Yeah, exactly. How about that local sports team of yours? Yes. So, Stephen, what have you been playing lately? That would be a good way to waste a few minutes.
That's a good way to do it. I haven't been doing that much gaming in the past week. Disco Zoo. I have one more diamond trophy to get in the Jurassic. I think it's Jurassic. And then I have to get all the diamond trophies for the Ice Age portion of the zoo. Having a good time with that. Still. But soon they're going to have to release a new extension to the zoo because I'm almost done, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to find another game to play. Maybe I'll try Simpsons Tapped Out because I like when my phone crashes. So I hear that Simpsons Tapped Out is a very fun way to make your phone crash.
Oh, really? I've never had that problem. It must be an Android issue.
Oh, okay.
Or you're on Android, right?
I am, yeah. My brother plays Simpsons Tapped Out a lot, and he says it crashes very frequently.
Oh, really?
I think he said something like 50% of the time he launches the game, it crashes immediately.
Wow, I've never experienced that. I play that game every day, and I've never experienced that. There's also the Family Guy game that just came out, but I'm not sure if that's on Android or just iOS right now.
Well, hopefully it's better than the Family Guy show has been for the last 5 years.
Yeah, it's actually really funny. If you like Family Guy, it's really quite funny.
All right. Terraria. I love Terraria, and I've put hundreds and hundreds of hours into the game at this point, and I stopped playing it for a long time, and then they released a new patch for it, putting in a whole bunch more content. So I started playing it again, and I'm like, oh, this game is still fun. And then they released another patch, putting a whole bunch more content. And I'm like, oh, well, it's nice that they keep updating it. And then they put another patch. with like even more content. And I'm like, I don't have time to get to all this content. They keep putting in all this content. And you'd think that'd be great because, okay, now you have so much stuff to do. But a lot of it is timed content. Like on Halloween, they released all this Halloween content and a Halloween themed boss you can only encounter on Halloween.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, I wasn't strong enough to get there.
I'm already playing Animal Crossing on all these holidays. I don't have time for you, Terraria.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And like, you know, they have the Christmas themed holiday in Terraria, but it lasts for all of December. So it's a big window of time to do it in. And it's not, and then they created a boss for that. And then there's like the Halloween boss they launched on Halloween Day. And it's like, I don't have time. So, I kind of walked away from it. So now I've come back to it and I'm just playing it, just trying to be relaxed about it and chill. Started a new character, started a new world. With all the new features that the worlds have now when you generate a new one. And
nice.
It's neat. They just added cross-themed pirate stuff recently. So now there's fishing rods and bait, and you can go fishing, and there's all this pirate stuff in there because they did a cross-promotion with some pirate-themed game. So, oh no, I have a ton of fun playing Terraria by myself. I've done very little multiplayer. The multiplayer is really good when you're fighting the really hardest hard mode bosses. I'm responding to Jay Carguth here, just for anybody who's just listening. He's in the chat room. He says, I got Terraria Red is no fun solo. I have no friends. Yeah, I've had almost all of the fun I've had with Terraria playing by myself. Just tunneling around to the ground and having a great time. Starkweather TD is saying, come back to Twitter. And the answer is no. My life is way, way better. Way better without Twitter and Facebook. I have so much more time, and I'm having so much fun doing everything that I'm doing. So yeah,
I'm showing the chat room on the screen right now, so if people are following along with the video, they get to see all that stuff. I'll turn that off now, though. Cool. So Terraria, I got into Terraria really, really hard when it came out on iOS. Like I played everything, beat all the bosses, did all the stuff, and then I stopped playing, and then I had picked it up on PlayStation way back, but never really played it. And then they came out with a bunch of patches for the PlayStation version, and there's a bunch of trophies in it, and I'm thinking to myself, I kind of want those trophies, so I'm thinking about getting back into it and playing it on probably on my Vita and doing it that way. But we'll see. But I'm glad you're enjoying it, except for the evil limited time content that they throw in there.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I mean, at some point I'll be all powered up and super strong and having a great time, and then those holiday things will pop up again, and I'll be able to do them then when I'm prepared for them.
Yeah.
So,
awesome.
But yeah, the Halloween boss has a big pumpkin head and long arms and everything like that, and all kinds of crazy stuff that he just keeps just gleefully adding and releasing. He must be making a lot of money on $10 copies of that game. So
yeah, exactly.
It's a lot of fun. And if you've only played the mobile versions, you're missing out because the game is so much deeper and more complex and more. There's so much more to do in the PC version. So.
Right.
I just wish it ran natively on the Mac instead of me having to boot into Windows to run it.
That would be nice. In the chat room, we have Trey Too Fast saying, while listening to the show, I'm taking the time to tell Nintendo how crappy the Virtual Console is in the form of Club Nintendo surveys. Nice. I do that as well. Awesome. Cool. Well, let's get a little bit into what I've been playing on my Nintendo consoles. I've been playing a little bit of Mario Golf World Tour. I'm actually really enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun. I'm actually enjoying it more than I thought I would enjoy it, and I knew I was going to like it because I like Camelot sports games. So, really, really enjoying playing that. We had a couple people asking me on Twitter. I'm going to see if I can find those tweets really quickly. We have, I guess Adam would be the one. Adam Roffel would be one. I can't find the other one. People want us to set up a Nintendo Pulse Mario Golf tournament. So yeah, maybe that'll be something that I'll do in the future. I'll have to see if there's any other regulars that are playing that game, so it's not just the two of us. But yeah, so if you're listening to the show and you're playing Mario Golf and you'd like to jump into a tournament, shoot me an email, vgpodcast@gmail.com. We have a new feature here. If you go to vgpodcast.com, right on the side of the page, right on the right side of the page, when you load up the site, there's going to be a little icon or a little box that says send voicemail. If you click that, that's going to give you the ability to either record a voicemail directly on your computer or do it from an iOS or Android app that you can download, which will then allow you to do that as well. And that would probably be the easiest way to get that information into us because it's free and easy, and you can do that as well.
Yep, I see that little link there now.
So that's a nice new feature that we have here on the site. So besides Mario Golf, I've been playing some stuff on my PlayStation. I platinumed Amazing Spider-Man 2, even though I said it was horrible and very, very, very horrible and very, 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 very horrible. And I played it enough to get my platinum trophy on it. So yeah, it's not that bad, I guess, because I platinumed it. And then I had previously bought a bunch of games really cheap. Sony was having a $5 sale, and I picked up a bunch of games, one of them being Duke Nukem Forever. So I'm playing through Duke Nukem Forever on my PlayStation 3 and hating most every second of it, but still laughing enough to make me continue to go on and play it. I was a big fan of Duke. I even have this right by my desk, which I just pulled out the other day, which is the Duke Nukem Manhattan Project Total Mutant Mayhem box set, which was like all the games and everything in one box. And I haven't even cracked it yet, so it's like sealed. And I paid $9 for this. So yeah, look at that. That is wow. I'm good at spending my money. But yeah, so it was funny to get back in and play a really horrible game, but a classic one that thanks, Stephen.
You're welcome.
One that I really wanted to play just to see how bad it was. And it is really bad, but it was worth the $5 I spent on it. And playing a couple other things. Really looking forward to Watch Dogs coming out. Looking forward to Mario Kart 8 coming out. And hopefully I'll be picking both of those up on launch day and having some fun with those. So it's been kind of a lull. So I've been getting through some of my backlog and stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's always a good time.
Yep.
Well, not always. Sometimes.
I'm a big fan of stuff, apparently. All right, well, let's get into the rest of the show. Steven, do we have any notable releases this week?
The only one that I have down here on the outline is Moon Chronicles Episode 1, which is more expensive than it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I was looking into that today because I was really excited for this one, and I'm still going to pick it up. But it is $9 on the eShop, at least in Canada. It might be cheaper in the States. I think it might be maybe $1 more expensive up here because currency exchange rates and whatnot. But so up here it was either $7.99 or $8.99. Actually, my 3DS is right beside me. I could probably just open it up and check. That would work.
Do it.
It was either $7.99 or $8.99, and that gets you, it's $8.99 up here in Canada. So it might be cheaper in the States. I'm not sure. And that gets you just the first chapter of 4, and then the other 3 chapters are going to be available for in-app purchase for $1.99. So it's going to be about $15 for the whole game, which isn't bad considering that the game was $35 when it first came out, or $29.99. I can't remember if it was $29.99 or $34.99 when it first came out. So if you're looking to replay the classic first-person shooter on the 3DS, this is definitely a very, very good way to go about it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I thought it was launching at $5. So I don't know where I got that wrong information. So I was just kind of surprised. So I'm gonna have to go pick up a Club Nintendo or a Nintendo Points card because I don't have enough credit on my 3DS right now. So I'm gonna have to go pick up a card and do that. Otherwise, I would have bought it immediately. Since I don't like giving anybody my credit card anymore. Since the PlayStation got hacked and I had to go through all the rigmarole to get all that stuff changed. So I will do that in the near future, and then I will also be playing some of Moon Chronicles.
Good.
Yeah.
And then you'll be shooting things in space.
I will. Lots of bullets in space. Endless ammoed guns firing endless amounts of ammo.
Yes, that's one of the things that I enjoyed. I also enjoyed the little rad thing driving around. That was fun.
Yep.
I remember my review.
That was a lot of fun. It was a great game when it came out. And I watched a bit of a gameplay on like a let's play on YouTube, and it looks really good for a game that is just a port, but it's a kind of an HD remake, just because of the graphical changes that have been done going from the DS to the 3DS. So it looks like
nice.
It looks like a whole new game. Really, really good looking. So do check that one out if you're into first person shooters. All right,
I liked it, and I'm not into first-person shooters, but I liked it a lot.
Yeah, exactly. It has a really good story. It has a story. Most first-person shooters don't have a story. It
has a story.
Yeah, not to say that the story's bad. That wasn't what I meant there. Just that most first-person shooters don't really have a story. It's get from point A to point B, shooting everything in the face, and you got to point B. Okay, now there's a new point C that you have to get to. You also have to shoot everybody in the face, but you get this new weapon to do so. And this one actually has a little bit of a story and a mystery and stuff in it, which was a lot of fun to play through the first time. Really, really good. All right, cool. Let's move this right along and let's get into our news. First up, Mario Kart 8 reviews. The floodgates, they've been opened, and there's reviews as far as the eye can see. If you guys listened to the DRes podcast on last Friday, I had Joe Foreman, who's in the chat room right now, as my guest host for that episode, and he talked a lot about Mario Kart 8. So if you want to hear some firsthand impressions, you can do that as well. But it's been getting some really good reviews. So I read a couple today, because, well, there really is nothing to spoil on this game. Everybody knows what a Mario Kart is, and we already know all the secrets. I read the Polygon review. Polygon gave it a 9 out of 10. Other sites like Destructoid and Joystick and The Escapist, which is odd to me, and IGN all gave it a 9 out of 10. It's getting 8s on Giant Bomb and Shack News and GameSpot, so it's getting some really, really, really good reviews, which is great. So I don't know, Steven, have the reviews that have popped out? Have you read any of them? First off,
I have not. I opened the one at Nintendo Life and scrolled down to the bottom and looked at the 9.
Nice.
and I skimmed part of the review right before the show.
So you're one of those people that just opens the review, skims to the bottom, finds the big number that is a different color than the other text, and then closes the browser window.
In this case, I was, because I wanted to see the score on one of the reviews right before the show.
Some I'm just bugging you. I'm just bugging you. That's kind of what everybody says. Like, why do we write 2,000 word reviews when no one reads them? And yeah, that's sites like Metacritic make them kind of irrelevant, which is terrible, but it's just the way it is. That's the way it is. So yeah, it's getting some really good reviews. So if you haven't already convinced yourself that you want to own it, if you want to maybe be convinced, you're kind of on that fence, you might want to read some of the reviews and see if the changes that they've made to it, the kind of the anti-gravity flying around on levels, up the walls and things, the different items, the online stuff, if that is enough for you to pick it up, there's plenty of reviews. I've read as I said, the Polygon review, and I've skimmed the first little bit of the IGN review as well, and there's lots and lots and lots, which is great. So definitely do check those out if you're on the fence. But it's Mario Kart 8. Spoilers, it's good and people like it.
Indeed.
But the one thing I'm really, really kind of pissed off about is that they ruined battle mode, Steven. That is my single favorite part of Mario Kart multiplayer, is playing battle mode. And Jake Argus says, Mario Kart 8, it's a Spider-Man game we needed. That's awesome and accurate. But the battle mode is something that I've spent more hours in my life playing that than I'd like to admit, with parties and friends and family and yeah, it's just enemies,
pets,
friends that then became enemies after.
People who live down the street and sometimes knock over your shopping cart when you're at the grocery store.
Those bastards
spilling melons all over the place.
Yep. I hit them with blue shell,
banana peels,
and then everything's great. But that was my favorite part of Mario Kart, was doing that, and they've changed it. So when you're playing a battle mode, you're just driving around the normal track, and you're fighting against all the AI characters and any like local people that are playing multiplayer with you. So it's really just racing with balloons hanging off your butt that you get to pop. So really not what I wanted. I love the actual arena battle mode. Hopefully that'll be something that they patch in down the road. I hope they get a lot of complaints on that and fix it. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. So yeah, it's sad. So, but other than that, I'm super excited about this game, and I can't wait to pick it up in about week's time. No, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. It's the end of
2
the
weeks.
month. So it's 2 weeks away. So
yep,
little bit of time.
Unless you're foreman, you get to play it now.
Exactly. Everybody become foreman, and then you can already play it. All right, well, let's move on. Just wanted to give you guys a bit of a heads up. It's probably going to be too late for you to take advantage of this one. Target is selling Nintendo 2DSs for $99 up until the 17th. So it's the 15th when we're recording this. So it's only a couple more days. It'll probably be posted on Saturday, so you won't have very much time to pick it up, even if you listen to this the second it goes up. But I've seen a lot of these sales over the last little while where there's been like Target, Best Buy, Future Shop, various different retailers are putting the Nintendo 2DS on sale for $99, and I believe it's the one that comes with Pokemon, so you're getting a game with it as well. Just wanted to give that as a bit of a heads up to anybody that's been waiting for one. Will in the chat room picked one up recently because it was only $100. So that's definitely a great price point for a lot of people out there. So if you're in the market for a new handheld, maybe you need a second handheld in the family, need a new handheld for one of your children, maybe, the 2DS is definitely a really good product just because it is so damn cheap. So check it out, pick it up, $100, and have fun with it. What were you going to say, Steven?
Yeah, I'm just agreeing that that's a cheap price. It's the cheapest way to get into the 3DS library, that's for sure.
Yeah, $100 is a really good price, especially when it comes with a $30 copy of Pokemon.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous. ridiculous.
Doesn't get much better if you actually like Pokemon.
Exactly.
Which some people apparently do.
Yeah, some people do. It's popular with the kids. All right. So moving on, we got word this week that a really great emulator on iOS called GBA for iOS. It was an iPhone and iPad app that was a Game Boy Advance emulator. So you would load it on your device through it was kind of a weird way that they did that, or they got around the whole App Store thing. They got a corporate signing certificate so they could sign an app for installation. So it's meant if you run a big business and you want to have custom apps that you don't want in the App Store. Yeah. You sign it with a specific certificate. People can go to a website, download the app, install the certificate, boom, it works on your device. Well, they published it, and then Nintendo revoked that certificate immediately. So then what you'd have to do is go to this website, hit install. It would install the app, and then before running the app, you'd have to set your date back on your device to like sometime in like February, say. I can't remember exactly what it was. You'd start the app, it would load the certificate, everything would be good. You set the date to whatever it was, and boom, you had a Game Boy Advance emulator on your device. It was really great. It connected to Dropbox, so if you had ROMs on there, you could do that. So a lot of people were checking it out. A lot of people dug it. Well, Nintendo has issued finally a DMCA takedown request against that. So the website's been taken down. GBA4iOSapp.com has been taken down because of some sort of copyright infringement, which is really kind of odd because the emulator doesn't actually include any ROMs at all. It just allows you to play ROMs, whether they're ones you've made yourself or download off the internet, but it shouldn't be illegal on its own. But yeah, it is. It's been taken down. The author is a U.S. citizen as well, so I don't think he's going to try to put it up again and risk getting sued by Nintendo. So it's crazy. I don't know. I like emulators personally because I don't like always taking out my devices and playing with the games. It's convenient to have them all on one device. I know a lot of people never buy games and they play every emulator and every game available. Obviously, that's not legal by any stretch of the imagination. But I don't know. I just wish there was a way that you could legally buy an emulator from Nintendo, and some way that you could sign a ROM that you've ripped with your own cartridges, because I only ever want to play games that I own. I just want to always keep them in storage and not have to keep shuffling cartridges in and out. It'd be nice if there was a way to do that, or at least a way that I could buy this app on my iOS account and then buy every Nintendo game I want really cheaply.
Buy them from Nintendo, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that's never, ever going to happen. So it is kind of sad to see something like this go. I don't know, Steven, what are your thoughts? Are you a gray area emulator kind of guy? You think that it should be like looked down upon by every single person?
I think emulation is a really important thing for, in terms of saving things for posterity and things like that. And it's also really good for things like Virtual Console. It would be great if we had a system where, even if it was just on Nintendo's own platforms, where we could go and have an iTunes style thing and just play every game that's available and pay a subscription fee or something like that, or even just all of Nintendo's first party stuff, because generally that's the best stuff on all their platforms. But I mean, this was already, it seems to me like this was, I wasn't aware of this until seeing it on the outline here, but this was already such a system of hoops you had to jump through just to get this thing running on your system.
Yeah.
And then you're playing GBA games on a damn iPhone.
Yeah.
Which has this tiny little screen. Well, I guess maybe it works on an iPad too.
It works on an iPad as well. And it supported all the hardware.
No buttons, right?
It supported all the hardware controllers, which was really nice. So you could connect a controller to it. But yeah, essentially it's not, you're not playing it on buttons, but it was cool to like, when I checked it out, I loaded it up and it's like, oh yeah, this is awesome. I'm never going to play a game on this, but I'm glad that this exists, because one day maybe I want to grab my 3 favorite Game Boy Advance games and play them while on the go without having to bring my, I don't even know where my Game Boy Advance is. It's in one of my storage shelves. So, I mean, I don't dig that out very often just because it is such a hassle to drop the batteries in, grab the cartridges, get them out of their boxes, try not to damage any of the stuff, because I want all my stuff to be in good condition. But yeah, I mean, I guess this is illegal according to the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. So it was taken down and that's it. In the article that I linked to on Touch Arcade, the author of this article was actually talking with the author of the app, and he got multiplayer working between 2 devices. So he was going to make it work better, and then that was going to be updated, like an updated version, so you could play multiplayer with friends. So you could do like System Link Pokemon battles or whatever. But yeah, I guess this won't happen. It's available if you have like a jailbroken device. It is available apparently, but yeah, there's no way to get it on your actual non-jailbroken iOS device, which is why this was such a really cool project.
Right. Or if you have Android, all these emulators are still readily available right on the Google Play Store.
Yeah.
You download them, you throw the ROMs on your phone, you can play them right there.
Yeah, exactly. iOS being a little bit more locked down. This is why this was so awesome. But you could just buy any old cheap $99 Android phone and boom, there you go. You have every single emulator under the sun at your fingertips, if that's exactly what you want to do.
Sure.
Crazy. All right, well, let's move on from that. That was a neat little story. I guess different from Nintendo potentially suing someone down the road, Nintendo again is being sued. This time they're being sued by Philips, and they're suing based on the Wii Remote Control, Wii Motion Plus, and a whole pile of other Wii accessories. Because they're saying, or Philips is saying, that it infringes on its patents based on motion detection and pointing devices. So I guess Philips, who makes like coffee makers and vacuums and televisions and stereos, they're well known also for the motion game controllers that they sell, and the pointing devices that they sell. Just really ridiculous when you get a company that just sues for a product that's been on the market forever, that they actually never made that I know of. Like I don't know of any
Yeah.
Philips motion-based gaming system. But I guess you
I
don't.
can't think of any.
Yeah, really ridiculous. So
Yeah, but apparently they hold some kind of a patent that they think is being violated by Nintendo's technology, which it is. It's surprising that that something like this would come up now.
yeah,
Which makes me wonder if they acquired a portfolio of patents.
sure.
And they think that one of them may blend in there, and they're like, well, the Wii made lots of money, so maybe we can get some of that.
Yeah.
And our electric toothbrush money is running a little low.
Yeah.
So
That's maybe the pointing devices. You're pointing at your teeth when you brush teeth.
This is infringing on our toothpaste patent, our electric toothbrush patent.
It is all starting to make sense.
They held a Wii remote in their hand and it vibrated, and they're like,
Whoa.
those sons of guns.
You could put bristles on this. They're writing us right out of the whole system. Yeah. It's terrible when a company has a product on the market for 8 years. Like, when did the Wii start? 2005? Was that when the Wii was? No, that's not right. 2008. Is that right? I want to say
The Wii came out in 2006.
2006? Yeah, that's right. 2006. So it took them 8 years to figure out, hey, the Wii does something that one of our things does. Let's sue Nintendo after this product is pretty much off the market. Yeah, really, really kind of a crazy thing. So Nintendo's been sued recently a lot, and they've actually lost a fair number of these suits and had to pay damages. So I guess it's another company just trying to kick Nintendo when they're kind of down. I guess they're kind of down. They're not. They still have billions of dollars in the bank.
Frenzy, who knows?
Yeah, for sure. Nintendo has billions of dollars in the bank, so I mean, it's not like this is going to hurt them too much. Probably, possibly, but yeah, they're being sued yet again. So we'll, if anything big comes out of this, we'll definitely cover it in the future. But if not, you can look for Philips sues Nintendo, and there's lots of articles about that stuff out there right now.
Sure.
All right. Well, this is new to me. We talked about it on the pre-show, and Steven's like, "That's not new. I did this thing a while ago, and it's terrible."
Yes.
Which kind of made me sad that I thought I found something new and cool, but I didn't. I did not. And that is, Nintendo is selling old manuals directly off the Nintendo Store. So if you go to the Nintendo Store, there's a category called Retro Parts and Accessories. So when you click that, there's another section called Game Manuals. And I was like, this is going to be the best thing ever. I can get the Final Fantasy Dungeon Map or the Mario Brothers, not Super Mario Brothers, Mario Brothers. I can get the manual for the NES and all these other great things. And I was like, Steven, look at this. You're a collector. This is the best thing ever. And Steven's like, oh yeah, they've been doing that forever and it's crap. I was like, what? What? What do you mean? And then you explain the whole thing to me.
And then I'll explain it if you'd like. A few years ago, when I was wandering around in Nintendo's online store, I saw that they had manuals. You could buy their old manuals for NES games, Super NES games, all this old stuff. And I was like, wow, this is great. So I clicked through and I went to order one, and there was a little message that said, warning, you may receive the original manual or you may receive a copy of the original manual. And it was only like $1.50 or $2. So I was like, man, let me give it a shot. So I ordered them. And sure enough, each and every manual that I ordered came as a stack of double-sided color photocopies that had been stapled together. I did not get a single original instruction manual.
That's
These were all the manuals that I ordered for the various games that I have that I did not have manuals for at the time. And I've kept them because, nice paper, and they are manuals. But my advice is to go to Replacement Docs, which is a website that has scans, full color scans, high resolution scans of all instruction manuals of various kinds, and print them out yourself. And
That's
possibly
new.
even cut them because Nintendo didn't even bother with that with mine.
Wow.
But yeah, if you want a photocopy of an instruction manual, you can do that. And maybe it's changed. Maybe they are reprinting old manuals now, but I honestly doubt it. I think it's probably the same thing that's been on the store for years, in a slightly neater format on the page.
That is interesting. I've never heard of Replacement Docs before.
It's a cool website. I've actually submitted several manuals myself because, as a big collector with lots and lots of games, I have a lot of instruction manuals.
Right.
And there were a few that were not on there, like The Magic of Scheherazade, which is one of my favorite RPGs for the NES. It's an Arabian-themed one. They didn't have the manual or the world map on there, so I scanned those and uploaded them. And I think there was a Castlevania game that didn't have a manual that I scanned and put up there too.
Wow, that is really cool. I had no clue that this ever existed, so that'll be something that I bookmark and keep handy.
And it's not a pretty site, but it's functional, and I like it. Another place you can go if you want to buy actual manuals and cases was, let's see if I can remember the name of this site. God, what was it? All right, I'm going to try and think about it for a few minutes. Let's continue on. Because,
it reminds me of I found a website when I was doing those those melty beads where you can make like little bead things.
Oh, perler beads.
Perler beads, right? There's a website called Shy Guy Kingdom, the Shy Guy Kingdom. So it's tsgk.captain.n.net. And they have sprite sheets for pretty much all old games. So when I was looking, hey, I want to make a Yoshi. It's like, oh, well, I have to figure that out by hand. And then I found this website, and it actually has all the old sprite rips. So you can go browse by system, pick a game. So I can go to Castlevania on the NES, and I can actually bring up some of the sprite sheets that way, which was a kind of a really cool way to do it. So I don't know if that's showing good on the video, but you can actually see the old sprites, and then basically I have a little app that blows it up and puts squares around it, and you can do things like that as well. So it's pretty cool to see all of these sites kind of pop up to help us remember and preserve all of our old retro kind of things that we have. Cool. So really kind of cool.
I pasted a link in the chat there to the site I was talking about, and this is a site that you can go to where you can buy game boxes with the original art. You can buy instruction manuals, and they have them for older systems. Let me see what they have. More systems. Like I clicked on more systems. I said Sega Master, replacement instructions boxes. Okay, they don't have any for the Sega Master System right now. Let me go to Nintendo NES.
So these are originals, or these?
These are the original boxes and instruction booklets and stuff. Like, for example, okay, you can get the instruction booklet for the NES game Back to the Future used for $1.79. So this is where you would actually get them if you want to get the real.
Oh, that's thing. Ridiculous. Another one that I'll add to my my collection of links. That's really cool.
Yep, I've gone here a bunch of times to get boxes for games. I'll go from like. I'll go to a garage sale and I'll buy a game and it'll be missing the manual, or it'll be just the disc or something like that. And then I'll go here and I'll get the box and the manual.
Nice.
And the condition varies, but usually they've been great every time I've got one. I've been very lucky, I think.
Nice. Interesting. Cool. So that's a couple resources for you guys that are listening if you are a collector and want to get at these things. So do check that out. All right, moving on. A couple more stories left before we close out the show. The first one is a new Street Pass game that is going to be coming out to Nintendo 3DS systems in Japan, and it's going to be tied to a Pokemon movie. So it's called The Thieves and the 1000 Pokemon, and it is a eShop game that basically duplicates some of the critter capturing that is in the movie, and it turns it into a Street Pass thing. So it makes sense for Japan because 1,000 billion gajillion people live in each square block of the country. So when you walk down the street, you get hundreds of Street Passes if you're constantly clearing them out. Where in North America, you could probably throw your 3DS all the way across your city and maybe get 2 other Street Passes. So it's definitely a different culture than we have here in North America, which is kind of sad because Street Pass is really, really damn cool. So they're going to be making this game available in Japan free between June 5th and September 30th. And it'll probably have in-app purchases, I'm sure. It'll probably have that type of stuff thrown in, but just a cool little feature that will allow people to kind of interact with the movie. Whenever a new Pokemon movie comes out in Japan, it's like a huge event. Like it's kind of scary how popular Pokemon still is in certain parts of the world. One of those parts being Japan. So the new movie that comes out is called Diancie and the Cocoon of Destruction. It's coming out mid-July. So this is coming out before that, and it's going to encourage people to capture sticker like Pokemon and battle them and all those things. Like, it's so you collect sticker versions of your Pokemon, and then you use them to attack RPG like the thieves that are stealing stuff, and you're trying to get that stuff back. So it's just like this weird little tie-in thing, but hey, it's pretty damn cool to get a free Street Pass game in a country that can actually get Street Passes. So, Steven, if this was here, would you play it?
No.
No, I was just shaking my head no, because I knew that would be the answer. But it's really cool for Street Pass to still be touted as a big feature by Nintendo. They realize that is one of the cool differentiating factors of the 3DS, especially since no one likes 3D anymore. So they have to talk about some of the new stuff, or some of the good stuff of the system, and keeping coming out with new apps that support it is a really good thing.
Cool. I think it is too. I want them to come out with more. I want more Street Pass games,
but not more Pokemons. You want more?
I want more of the ones where the rabbit in the Street Pass Plaza pops up and goes, "Hey,
would you like to buy this?"
Yeah.
If you buy it right this second, it'll be $2 cheaper. Don't you want to buy it? You want to buy it? It's $2 cheaper. Come on, you got to buy it now. Because if you buy it later, it's not going to be cheaper. You got to buy it now.
Right.
That crazy pusher rabbit that gets you to buy stuff.
Shifty as hell.
Yeah,
it's
very,
funny.
very, very, very. Awesome. Well, let's move on to our last news story, and this is kind of sad. So on May 20th, the Nintendo Network connection, the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, Nintendo Network, essentially the old school Nintendo Network, is being shut down. Mm-hmm. So basically what that means is old games on the Wii, some games on the DS, they just won't work anymore when you try to get online. The servers just won't be there. So things like Smash Brothers, things like Mario Kart on the Wii, all that stuff, it's going to be gone, which really kind of sucks, because when you buy a game and you play online and you enjoy it and you want to go back to it, it'd be nice to be able to go back and find other people that are feeling as nostalgic as you. So enter the mod scene. So there's a Wii mod group called WIMM, WIIMM, and they've made a program that will patch things like Mario Kart on the Wii, Smash Brothers maybe down the road. I don't think that one's there yet. And basically what it does is it patches the server that Nintendo, or that it's going to be contacting. So it patches the Nintendo server, and then it changes it to something else. And that something else is some third-party run servers that essentially do the same thing. Prior to this patch, there was ways to basically set up a DNS server and change the DNS server, but that wasn't perfect, because there was a lot of weird things there. Some of the things would go directly to IPs. Obviously you can't change an IP of a DNS server. You could do some weird routing things, and it was always just such a huge headache to do that. But now there's this patcher, so if you have a modded Wii, and you're one of the people that are playing like hardcore Smash Brothers or Mario Kart Wii, you could use this program and essentially still play the games online. Kind of a cool thing. Still a hell of a lot of workarounds and hoops to jump through. I remember way back in the day there was Warp Pipe, which wanted to basically allow you to play your games online. It was like GameCube games, wasn't it? Way back in the day, was that what Warp Pipe was?
Yeah, well, it let you take any game on the GameCube that was set up to do LAN play,
modem or LAN play, yeah, and run it through your computer.
Do it online instead.
Yeah. So it'd be cool if
Mario Kart Double Dash was one of the games that worked with.
Exactly. So it reminds me a lot of that, but it's not just like peer to peer. It's talking to a server, and the server is actually a user run server that people reverse engineered what it was and put it up on the internet some way. So people that are playing Mario Kart Wii or Animal Crossing, you could still play it online if you have a lot of time, effort, and modded consoles, I guess. So obviously not something that everybody can do, but kind of a neat idea for people that are hardcore into that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's clever. It's nice. I mean, I read about this and my first thought was, well, can they maybe mod Mario Kart Wii so it's a good game?
Okay.
Just change it.
Wow,
change it.
That's little stronger than I would go, but okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Well, just think about it. Better cars, better controls.
I don't know. I like Mario Kart Wii.
Better graphics.
At least the battle mode was better than the Mario Kart 8 battle mode.
I don't think I even played battle mode.
I guess that is subjective.
I haven't played it since Super NES, I think.
Yeah, it's my favorite thing. My favorite thing. So the project is called Wimmfi. It's WIIMMMFI, which is really
rolls right off the tongue.
Really bizarre, but or no, I think there's only 2 M's. There's not 3 M's, so it's Wimmfi. So WIIMMFI. You can do a Google search for that, and it will take you to probably the NeoGAF thread where we found this. There's other websites that there's a website called wimmfi.profeeby.at. So yeah, it's probably easier just to do a Google search for WIIMMFI if you want to get into this type of stuff. But
you're in trouble when that's the easiest way to find it.
Yeah, exactly. Which is really kind of crazy. But again, this just shows how hardcore the Nintendo audience is, where a group of people will get together and create their own stuff to make stuff that was once broken work again. It's really kind of awesome. People that are fans of Nintendo are some of the best game fans out there. They're also some of the worst game fans if you read message boards. But we'll forget about that for right now.
That's the internet for you.
Exactly.
That's where we are right now. I'm obviously, I don't know where my bread is buttered.
Yeah, you don't internet anymore anyway, so it's okay.
No, I'm Amish.
Yes, you're born again Amish.
Something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Except, without the whole believing in fairy tales thing.
All right. I will not comment on that. Send all hate mail to Steven, who doesn't exist on the internet anymore.
You can send it right to my Twitter.
Yeah. At it's at Foreman, right? With an H? Is that
yes.
what it is?
Yes.
Awesome.
You'd probably respond to that stuff even better than I would anyway.
Very true. All right. Well, that's going to about do it for this episode of the Nintendo Pulse podcast. Just want to thank everybody for coming along and joining us. Put some music on. We love that you love the show. We love that you subscribe to it and talk about it and share it with your friends. So please continue to do all of that. Steven's reading his photocopied manuals while we do this, so that's good. We'd love to hear from you. Head on over to vgpodcast.com, click send a voicemail to do just that. Email us directly at vgpodcast@gmail.com, or you can call our voicemail line, which is area code 505 VG Podcasts. Steven, that's going to about do it for today. Thanks again for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me and letting me hold my pictures of Fawful up to the screen.
You can hold your Fawful wherever you want, Steven. I will not
just
judge.
Keep it off camera.
Exactly. All right, guys, that's going to about do it for this episode. Take it easy, and we'll talk to you in about a week's time. Later, everybody.
Bye.